Hi, I'm Teresa Crawley at Transwest Truck Trailer RV, and today I'm going to be showing you a pre-owned Newmar Mountain Aire. This is a 2022. The floor plan is $45.89. If you're not familiar with the Mountain Aire, you're going to see that this is loaded. It has pretty much every amenity you could ever look for in a motorhome or even in a regular home. This has more than mine does for sure. So let's take a look around. I'm going to give you some quick specs just so you have those in your mind. This is built on a Spartin K3 chassis. We have a Cummins i6 500 horsepower engine, Allison transmission. We have a 12.5 Onan diesel quiet generator, 3,000 watt inverter, 45,000 BTU air conditioning in here, and 50,000 of heating. We also have a tankless water heater, a SaniCon system. We'll get to all these details later. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we can explain those a little bit. This is an all-electric coach, so there's no propane on here whatsoever. That means you don't have to go find a place to fill it up and hassle with that. And we've got ample batteries and generator on here to make sure that you don't run out of power, even if you're not plugged in. The first thing that I noticed about this coach was the light, bright color scheme. I think it's just absolutely dynamic. It makes the space look much larger. And I love the color scheme here. Excuse me, if you're someone who likes a little bit darker wood, I actually have one of those available too in this same floor plan, pre-owned. So whatever your preference is, I can actually help you with either one. In this living area here, you'll see that they optioned in recliners. The great thing about Newmar's recliners is that they are movable. They are not attached to the floor. So if you decide that you want to move them out so you can watch the front TV, you can do that. Or if you want to take them out altogether because you have another use for this space like dog crates, this actually works really well for that plan. But it also makes a really great viewing area. You have these beautiful windows in the Mountain Aire. This is passenger side. We have one in the kitchen and then one behind these recliners here, and they're just so big and bright. There is a TV lift there that comes up as well with another flat screen TV, which totals 3 on the interior of this. So if you're a TV person, you can either watch it here from your recliners, or you can watch the front TV up there. You can actually have 2 different programs going at the same time, or hook up a game console if you choose to do so. We do have a sleeping sofa here. This becomes not a jackknife, but it actually folds out to a full-size bed. So you can sleep 2 extra people in here if you choose to. And then we're going to get to the storage that's above all of these. Something you might not be able to see is that there's felt carpeting in these cabinets here. That's going to help for things to not make so much noise when you're taking corners on the road. It's going to help with noise, vibration, and keeping all your things safe up there. This is where your audio visual equipment is going to be stored. And of course, that's already wired to the TV here. We've got a really nice Bose soundbar up here, kind of tucked away. And then a little bit more storage here. You might notice throughout the living room and through the rest of the coach that we have these really sleek black panels. Every one of these is going to be controlling lights, shades, fans. Some of them will have some additional features on them. For example, some of them will have the TV lift button, but they're all going to give you monitoring so you can check your house and chassis battery and your tank levels. So how much is in each of my tanks? Do I need to fill? Do I need to go dump? Things like that are very available to you, but you also have your shades button. Now this coach has automatic or electric day and night shades. I'm going to put down the night shades for you to see first. So when it's time for bed at night, you can push a button in any of these locations. These are scattered throughout the coach. You'll see quite a few. There's one right here at the entry, one right here by whoever is going to be sitting here, one right by the recliner, one by the the eating place, etc. You'll see them all over. It's very, very convenient. So again, when it's time for to go to bed or to watch a movie, you can push a button very easily, and these will all go up. We also have day shades on here, and these are going to be a light filtering. Also really great for privacy. So I'll put those down just so you can get a good idea of what those look like. So when you are at an RV park, these are actually quite nice. Just to keep you having some privacy. Nobody can watch what you're doing in here. So really a nice atmosphere, great look in here. Speaking about the look in here, you'll notice that the Mountain Aire has this really intricate ceiling design. You don't see your air conditioning vents all over the ceiling. There's not plastic, exhausts everywhere. This is just a very sleek design in getting the air conditioner hidden, as well as all your ceiling fans. They are integrated as well. On the floor here, we have porcelain tile on the floors. And I get asked the question a lot, do these break a lot? Not unless you drop something very heavy on them. So the way that Newmar builds their coaches, they have a really solid structure. When they're going down the road, they are not bending and twisting. They're not going to be popping tiles. There are other coach brands that's definitely an issue. And there are definitely years in the past before Newmar added the star foundation technology that was a problem. So they set to solve that problem, and they did that by adding the star foundation. There are videos on that, what I'm speaking of there, and we'll get to the basement area later outside, and I can show you what I'm talking about. But just to tell you, we get used coaches traded in quite a bit here. A lot of Newmars, because people love Newmars and want to buy a new one, and we sell the full line here of the new ones as well. But what I'm saying is that when we get these traded in, they don't have cracked tiles. It's just very rare that would happen. So just a little side note, these are very well built and durable coaches. Back to this recliner area, we do have a really great place to set our beverages. We can hide our remotes in here, or magazines, reading material, DVDs, whatever it is you choose to put in here, bottles of water. And then above, we've got lots more of that felt-lined storage going all the way across here. So I often say, in a motorhome, as much storage as you can get, you want. There's always more things that you think you're going to bring than you thought you were going to bring. So it's nice to have these little cubbies anywhere that they can find a place to put them without ruining the look of the coach. This over here is going to be your dinette. I've had a lot of people ask me recently about booth / chairs, and I have the people sit in the chairs, see what they think of them, and they're actually quite comfortable. These chairs, yes, they can be moved around. People are worried about them moving around, but I always just tell them, get a piece of Velcro and put the legs to each other. Let's just attach them to each other or to one of the handles here, and you don't have to worry about them moving around when you're driving. It also gives you a great option if you want to sit back or sit to the side. Also, if you have guests, you don't have to scooch down the booth. So there are benefits to both. It is a personal preference thing, but I would say don't make it a deal breaker until you try it out. This table does pull out, so we've got quite a bit more table space here. And then there are matching fold-up chairs also included with this coach. Now you'll notice there's quite a bit of counter space here, a lot more than some have. So that's actually quite nice if you want to put appliances there, things like that. And then of course we have more storage here. You'll notice that all of these drawers, they're soft close, they're full extension, and that's going to be true all the way through the coach here. So this one was intended to be a filing cabinet if you so choose to make it that. So that's why it has this little ridge here. A little bit of storage under here. Let me get this back over, and then we can look at the other side as well. So the idea behind this floor plan, because it is a little bit different, is a work from the road situation. So we have the ability to put cords through here. So if you wanted to put your monitor up here, and then you could have some computer equipment down here, printer, things like that. We've even got a pull out here for that. But there are a lot of options for what you can do with this space. There's a little bit more storage down here as well. Actually quite deep for what that is. Every little bit counts. You'll notice also on this slide out floor, there's no carpet in this coach. So that's going to be a lot easier to keep clean. Moving into the kitchen area, we have this really great pull-out area. This is great for prep space, or if you want to put hors d'oeuvres up here, drinks, things like that. This does have, again, full extension drawers, some extra things that you might need later on. And then one big one down here. When you don't need this anymore, you can just push this back in. Really clean, sleek in there. The other thing you might notice is that these countertops look really nice. They are a solid surface, or the brand name would be Corian, but these are just called solid surface. I don't believe that they're actually that brand, but they are the same material. So this is going to be easy to buff out if you ever scratch it or something like that. But it just gives a really good look. It's not cheap looking. Some storage here. We also have an exhaust fan right above here where you will be doing most of your cooking, I would imagine. So that's a great area to get some smoke out or smells that might be coming off of what you're making. Another little storage place up here, and I think that would be a great place for little spice bottles. Here we have your convection microwave oven. Convection means you can actually bake and crisp in here. It's really good size too. And then our cooktop, again, is electric. This is an induction cooktop. On the opposite side of the induction cooktop, we have cutting boards. So the covers can be used as just counter space, or they can be used as cutting boards, which is really clever. The cool thing about the induction cooktops is they don't get really hot. It's crazy science. I'm not going to go into explaining it, but it basically moves the ions around. And so when you take your pot off, you're not going to burn your hand if you happen to touch this. This is great for kids, but also great if you want to put this cutting board on there. It's not going to melt. So really clever. The other cool thing about this is Newmar made it so that it can come out. So you can get that clean underneath if you happen to have a spill, but also you can take this induction cooktop outside, plug it in one of the bay doors, and then you can, not the door, you know what I mean, into the outlets that are down there, and cook outside. So really great feature there. We have a great utensil drawer here. Right now it's housing some of our remote controls. And then we have a dishwasher here. A lot of people tell me, oh, I don't need that. That's silly or ridiculous or wasting space. It's actually none of those things. It's more efficient with your water. It actually makes a really great holding place for dishes while you're going down the road. So either you can choose to do your dishes once you get to where you're going, or it actually can hold things that are clean quite safely because it doesn't make a lot of noise. It keeps them in a really good position. So it's actually really clever in a lot of ways. You can also use it for deep pots and pans because it's a really good size. Over here, we of course have your double sink. This is stainless steel. And of course, there's a sprayer attachment on here so you can get everything nice and clean in there. This is just a water filter that we are leaving in there because the coach is winterized right now. And let me just show you how much space there is back here. You could definitely fit a coffee maker. You could put an air fryer or whatever, or toaster back there. There's a lot of room. Then up here, more storage. Nice pull out so that you can actually get to these things back here. And then we have your manual book. The original owner left that for you. More storage here, adjustable shelves. And a little bit more here too, with a really nice pull out. Again, spices, that could also be a really great junk drawer. And another one here as well. Every little bit of space in these makes a huge difference. You've got to find a place to put your things when you're moving to a 45-foot home versus a 4,500 square foot home or whatever it is. They built in a really nice pull-out so you could put a trash can and a recycle can here. And then there's another one here to put your cleaning supplies or whatever it is you choose to put in that area. And you'll notice as I was opening up cabinets, the lights come on automatically. Very handy. Here we have a really nice pantry. These are locking drawers in here, and they are full extension as well. You may notice there are little holes along here. That's so that you can change the height of these if you choose to. So if you have some things that are taller than this and gosh, I'm not gonna be able to use that, you can move it up and have a lot more space there. And then they lock into place so that when you're taking really fast corners in this thing, which you're not gonna do, your stuff won't come flying out, which wouldn't be fun. Down here we have your central vac. So what that means is you can actually hook up hoses here, they are included, and vacuum like a traditional vacuum. You also have a kick plate, so if you were to have a broom, you can sweep to this area and then that will suck it away. The vacuum itself is in the basement, and we'll get to that in a little bit, but it's really handy. You just change out the bags really easy. But you can also vacuum the basement area by taking the attachments down there. So kind of a cool system. Over here we have your Whirlpool refrigerator. This does have water in the door, but it also has ice. The ice is just down here. And we've got 2 levels of freezer there. A really nice refrigerator. That's where one of the filters goes. So there's a filter place there for the water that comes out of this door. This coach does have a whole house water filter as well. So you're gonna have really good tasting water in this coach. Okay, now we come to the most unique thing about this floor plan. This again was made for people who want to work on the road. Not everybody is doing this. There are other options for this area, but if you do want to work from the road or live in your coach, this is a great way to do it. So you can have all of your electronics set up here. We've got USBs back here, a port to put your cords through, a little bit of storage up here. So for those of you who have dismissed this coach because of this area, I would like for you to think about or visualize a little more storage up there. What if you took this chair out? What if you made this a coffee bar or a wine center? You could easily take this chair out, put a wine refrigerator under there, or set up an espresso machine, a little coffee or hot chocolate bar here. I think it would be just wonderful. Really great area, but don't get closed into thinking this has to be a desk. It can be a lot of things, and I think it could be really cool, especially if you're spending a lot of time in your coach. You can make it very personal. So that's my spiel about that. We're going to move into the bathroom area, and there is only one bathroom in this coach. It's very big, but you know what? It's one less thing to clean. As the mom of the house, the cleaner of the house, that's what I think about. This is one less thing that I would have to clean. Most of our coaches that are this size are a bath and a half. So you have a stool room with a sink, and then you have the full bathroom in the back. This one is all in one. You get a really big shower in this, and it's also beautifully tiled. That is real tile. This is not a plastic shower surround. Couple options on the head of the shower. We also have shampoo, conditioner, body wash dispensers, so your products aren't going to be going, flying off the shelves. You do have a fold-up teak shower chair if you need to take a break from all that showering you're going to be doing. And speaking of that, actually, because you have a tankless water heater, you can take as long of a shower as you want, as long as you have water. So we have 105 gallons of water capacity on here. So you can take a 105 gallons of hot water shower, which is a very long shower, or if you happen to be plugged in at a RV resort, it's going to be unlimited. So truly, you can take a break while you're in the shower, or just shave your legs or whatever it is. We also have the Aqua Miser system. Let me show you that. I'm actually going to go in there and show you. So what that does is it recirculates the water until it gets hot enough. So if I turn my thermostat here to right here, I want my water that warm because that's what I know I like. I can turn off the Aqua Miser system so the water won't be coming out. Once the water gets to that amount of warmth, this light will come on, and then I can say, okay, water can come out. That way we're not wasting water down the drain, literally. That's very helpful, especially when you're boondocking, but it's also great just to conserve water in general. So really great smart system. I love how that works. We also have a really great skylight up here. So our taller folks can definitely fit in here. I'm about 5'4", so again, I have a whole half my arm reach up there. So plenty of room, good headroom for people. And it is just really nice looking as well. Over here we have a really nice linen storage. You could use this as extended pantry if you chose. Hidden here is your stool room. I kind of want you to see this handle. This handle does not stick out like a traditional handle, and that's because when you're trying to get through these areas, sometimes that can catch on your clothing. This one is nice and sleek, and it comes open like that. And then of course we have your stool room. We do have some storage in there. We have another exhaust fan, macerator toilet, and the other thing here is that Newmar made these really great emergency exit doors. So if you were to have an emergency, you can actually get out of here quite easily and safely. The distance from here to the pavement is not that far. You could jump if you needed to, but there is a ladder that comes out of here quite easily. It's tucked away behind this panel here. So I love that they thought of the safety of that. A lot of our customers couldn't squeeze through an emergency exit window. So I'm glad that they thought ahead, the things that we don't want to think about if there was an emergency, but it's there if you ever need it. So love that. In this bathroom, we have double sinks, so you don't have to fight over who gets what. And then we actually have really good sized medicine cabinets. You'll notice there are plugins. A lot of the plugins in this coach are hidden. So don't think, oh gosh, there aren't enough plugins. They're actually everywhere. I'm just not pointing out each individual one. We have another one of these light panels here. And I did not turn on the vanity and mirror lights yet. So let's do that. Oh. And also, these are all dimmable. Every light in this coach is dimmable. So I can just say, I only want it a little bit, I'm just trying to wake up. And then when I want to get ready to go to a fancy dinner, I can turn it all the way up and have it that way. Another plug-in right there. And then we've got some storage here. On either side, these are going to be mirrored. We've got this really great drawer. And then we have 3 of this exact same size. So I'll just show you the one, and you can go from there. If you need measurements on any of these things or better pictures or specs, I'm more than happy to get that to you. I just don't like boring people in my videos. I want you to get the information you need, decide if it's the right coach for you or if you want to investigate it a little more, and then reach out to me. I'm happy to get you any information. So if you need measurements, I'm more than happy to do it, but I didn't want everybody to have to wait on it. So again, another medicine cabinet with that really great felt lining. And that's it for the bathroom. Now we're going into the master bedroom area. This is a king size bed. It's a rounded corner king, and they do that so that you can get around these edges a little bit easier. So if you need to make your bed, you can get over here really if you want to get into these little storage places, you can do that too. There are little storage places on both sides, so there's that there. And then above the bed, you'll notice we don't have the bedding on here. That's because it's still in bags, so it's actually nice and clean for whoever takes ownership of this coach next. I'd rather have it in a nice clean bag than out here so people can see it. Again, if you want to see what that looks like, I'm more than happy to show you. So above the bed, we've got a really ample amount of storage. We also have ports back here that we can put hoses or cords. So if you have a sleep apnea machine, that is a great way to do that. And these are mirrored on both sides as well. So you've got this here, and then there's a 110 outlet tucked away in the middle. So you can both have a sleep apnea machine if you needed. Now under here, what you can't see is we have another one of those nice light panels. And again, it's time to go to bed. I want all the lights off. It does that all for you. And then I can turn them back on in the morning. And then I can also put all the shades down in the coach just with a push of a button like we did in the living room. Really, really handy to have that there. We also have speaker buttons under here, so if you choose to listen to surround sound, that's what that's going to be. There are little speakers on the ceiling up here. Now back here we have your wardrobe or hanging closet. Housed in here we have your breaker box and fuses. And then we have 2 sets of 110s for you there. And access to your washer dryer if you need to winterize that. Again, this is your bedding. We've got some shoe storage there. And then on this side, I actually have a safe in there, and that has a programmable code, so you can choose what you would like that to be and nobody can get into your stuff. Over here we have your washer and dryer. Splendid. They actually are pretty good capacity. People ask me this a lot. You can fit quite a bit more than you used to be able to in these machines. I'd say it's an apartment size. When you had those all-in-ones, they were just really small and very inefficient, but they've come a long way here. Of course, another flat screen TV. And then I'll show you the storage we have here. We have a place for all your audio visual equipment, a place you can plug in your dish or direct TV, some 110s back there as well. And then of course we have a mirrored one over here, but it doesn't have all the audio visual stuff. So we've got another one here. Now this panel is a replica of one that we have in the front cabinet, and this is going to be your comprehensive view of the coach. You can turn on your floor heat here. We have 3 zones: bedroom, mid, which is the bathroom area, and the front area. So you can turn all of those on. I just turned them off because they really did a great job and heated this coach up today for me. We also have your HVAC system right here, cool, heat, auto, etc. The generator can be programmed to be started and stopped at certain times, or once your battery gets to a low level, things like that. So you can actually have this sensitive, if you have pets that are going to be staying in here, and the heat, it gets too warm for them or something, you can actually have this set so that it'll turn it on and get the air conditioning going for you. So that's a really nice feature as well. You can also check how your power is looking. Am I plugged in? How much do I have on my battery? Things like that. So very comprehensive technical view of the coach here. Down here we've got storage. I'll just show you one of each of these because they are replicated. So there are 3 of these on the top here, and this is quite deep. Not quite to my elbow, but it is very deep. And then down here we again have 3 of these, not quite as deep, but still really good size for what it is. Then I'm going to put these slides in so you can get a view of what this is like when the slides are in. Now this coach has 4 slides because the bathroom area does not slide. So it's going to stay nice and open when the slides are in. You can come through here and get back, take a nap while the slides are all closed. So that's a really nice feature of this coach. Because it doesn't have a tilt bed, you can actually get up here and do that. So I'm going to pull these in now, and then we can get a really good look of the coach closed up. All right, we're just about done here. And this reminded me that I forgot to show you the storage under this bed. So under here we have some storage, these really nice lifts for us to be able to open and close this very easily. And then those 2 extra chairs for the dining area. So love that. All right, I'll bring this other one in. So for those of you who don't know, Newmar invented the slide out in motor homes. They still use the same system because it's very reliable. They use a cog wheel, just like a cog wheel train. Very stout, very heavy, very reliable. Some of the slides are going to be hydraulic, and the reason that they had switched to those on some of these, like this side is going to be a hydraulic slide, is because the weight of these newer components, the tile floor, the residential refrigerator, and all the things that we're adding, they're getting heavier, and they wanted to make sure that they could handle that capacity. I don't want you to think this is broken. It's just hitting the recliner here. So we're going to fix that. Looks a little bit better. Okay, I'm going to put these front 2 slides in, and then you're going to get an even better view of what this coach looks like. So you'll notice I'm putting the driver's side slide in. It sounds very different from the cogwheel slide. These hydraulic slides are also very reliable. And I'm going to start moving the kitchen in as well at the same time. Okay, and these self-lock also. So I want you to see how much room I have to walk through here. Part of this has to do with the furniture configuration because we have 2 recliners. They actually tuck back really well. Depending on what furniture you have, this could get a little bit narrower, or they can be turned to the side for that matter. But I want you to see I can very easily come back to the kitchen area. I can get into my refrigerator all the way. So the whole thing, that's so fantastic. And of course the bathroom, because the bathroom again does not slide in. So we've got a ton of room back here. So this is one of the most open floor plans when the slides are in that I've ever seen. Love that. All right, front cab area. So I know you can't see this, but I want to tell you that these are very, very comfortable chairs. And this leatherette is actually quite easy to clean as well, and it stays looking nice over time. These are powered chairs up here, both of them. We do have a footrest that can come up, and they both turn around. So you can use these as part of your living area as well. All right, I'm gonna get the accessories on here. Okay, so again, very well appointed cockpit. We've got everything we could ever need in here. There's a little pedal over here that you tilt and telescope your steering wheel with. And then we also have the ability to move the pedals in and out with a little button here. So first thing you'll notice, beautiful screen, very easy to see. You can actually change the colors on this, and you can completely change the configuration on here. So if you don't want to look at your tire pressure, right now it's telling me I've got a couple that are low, and it might just be because it's cold outside, but either way, it's nice to know that I need to check those. But you can get rid of that and put something else completely on here. You can change all of these little monitors to something else as well. So I'm just kind of clicking through here a little bit. Settings. Actually wanted to go into that one in particular because Comfort Drive is one of the most miraculous and life-changing things. Going from any other brand to a Newmar, that's the thing. What it does in practical terms, it's keeping you center in the road. So it's fighting the wind for you, it's fighting the divots in the road. The result, what the payoff is for you, is that you're a lot less tired at the end of the day. You can drive much further without needing a break. It just makes this float along. It's so easy to drive. And I don't know if I should share this or not, but I was just a stay-at-home mom before I sold motorhomes, and then I decided I would go sell shoes. So I did that for a while, and I got tired of working long nights, not being with my kids in the evenings, working retail. So I Googled sales jobs near Longmont, and I ended up selling motorhomes. So of all the people that have all this experience, they came from the car industry, they grew up on a farm, they used to drive a truck, all of those things, I am none of those things. I used to be a shoe salesperson and a mom, and that I can drive this big 45-foot long coach with confidence, and not only drive it, I can back it into a very tight spot, says a lot about this coach, not about me. I didn't go to extensive training or anything. This is so easy to drive. And often I'll have, particularly wives, say, I'm never driving that thing, I'm too scared. And I tell them, you know what, if I can do it, you can. And that is the truth. You can learn, and it's not that hard, because really the Newmar does most of the work for you. So got a little personal there. I hope that's okay with you guys. But again, this is a 500 horsepower Cummins engine. We do have an HWH computerized leveling system here. How does that work? You literally say level, auto level, boom. It does it. It'll let you know when it's done because it'll stop beeping. And then you can auto store, boom, it'll pull them all up. This has a really great alarm system, so it will let you know if you have something that happens to be a little bit too far down that needs an adjustment, something like that. Right now it's telling me you're in travel mode, so you're good to go, you're clear. I can also manually dump this. If you ever see a motorhome that's sitting really high, it's because they're on airbags. It makes driving these like a dream. Like I said, it's more like driving a Cadillac than a pickup truck. They're awesome to drive, but when you're parked, you might want to like let the air out a little bit so it's a little closer to the ground, easier to get in the stairs. Again, this is an Allison transmission. It's automatic, so it really does the work for you, but you can downshift. Say you're going down a steep slope, you can downshift and have a little bit more control there. You can also go to eco mode and things like that, but again, it should do what it needs to do. You don't really need to worry about that, but if you're someone who's a little bit more in tune with that kind of thing, you can adjust it yourself. You do have the ability to dump your tag axle. So this has a steerable tag on it, but it is going to happen automatically if you have it in auto. But you can, again, have that control if that's something you prefer by putting it into manual here. We also have an engine brake here, on, off, and high, medium, low is right here. So the engine brake is basically going to suffocate the engine, make it not push you anymore. And it's quite dynamic, actually, when you're driving these and you get to where you're going to be at a stop sign. You literally take your foot off the gas and it is pulling you. It feels like it's pulling you back. Now, it's not loud like a Jake brake on a semi truck is, but it's the same kind of idea where it does the slowing down for you. In 7 years, I think we've changed brakes on one motorhome. That's because somebody probably wasn't using their engine brake appropriately, but truly you hardly use your brakes on these coaches. You just don't need it until you're at the very end when you're going to be at the stoplight. So that's fantastic that it has 3 stages here. We do have a toll window here. Of course, it's automatic for you, but you can actually reach out here if you need to pay a toll or something like that, or say hello to your neighbor or shout something at your partner. That's a good way to do it. And then this can come right back in. We have auto lights here, a dome light, and then auto high beams, etc. Your parking brakes right here. Controls for your mirrors, they are powered and they have heat in them as well. This is your CURT Spectrum brake controller, so you can decide how much braking you want on your tow vehicle right there by adjusting that. We have a cell phone charger right here. And then over here, this is going to be your navigation screen. It can be one of your camera views. It's also going to be your stereo system, Sirius XM or Bluetooth or whatever it is you want to add there. This one is going to be a dedicated, oops, sorry, it is touchscreen, so this is going to be a dedicated camera view. So if you want to constantly be looking at your tow vehicle or your trailer, whatever it is you're pulling, which you have the capacity of 15,000 pounds, so you can actually bring a stacker trailer with you. That can be dedicated to watching what's going on back there, making sure that it's not swaying or doing anything you don't want it to do. Just another great safety feature there. Over here we have your front fans, high, medium, low, and I actually do have those on right now. I can turn those off. Those are the main reason that you have these overhead fans. You can't see them on this because they're hidden and sleek, but they're going to be a great defrosting mechanism. Today I have them on just because it got quite warm in here, and it really does make a difference. Docking lights, courtesy lights, generator start and stop can be here. Your entry door lock and unlock is here. And then we have visors on either side, and then we have this full darkening shade up here as well. So we've got controls for all of the shades in this cockpit area. This one's your darkening shade. So when it's nighttime, you're going to put that down. It only goes halfway down when you have this the chassis on, because it doesn't want somebody to accidentally push it while you're driving and have an accident. So that's as far as it'll go when we're in this mode. We do have the mobile eye system, and that's going to be keeping you from, or it's tracking your cruise control so that you can be alerted if you're getting too close to the person in front of you. And you can change the distance on that as well. So really handy features. We do have a little bit of storage up here. And another cool thing over here, so we've got this really great cushy seat that is actually larger than the driver's seat here for the passenger. We have a cell phone charger over here, little cup holder. They have controls to do the patio light, this visor here, step cover, which is actually a piece that comes out and covers this area so that your feet aren't dangling when you're driving. But also it's good when you're using this as a home. Your puppy's not going to fall down there. You're not going to trip if you don't remember where you're at, things like that. Ceiling light here, map light here. We also have a really great little table here. This just reminds me of airplanes. So this just comes down like this, and you have a great little workspace here, a place to put your sandwich and drink. Or if you don't like having this at all, actually it's very easy to take out of the chair at the bottom here. So some people I know do that because they don't ever use it. So, and then that just tucks away right there. On this exit door, this is going to be your screen door, but you'll notice there's no screen here. It is retractable on Newmars. So I love that for safety, for enjoying the view. The view in a Class A is unmatched. It's absolutely beautiful and broad. And if you can have this open as well, it's even better. But when you do need a screen door, you need a screen. So that's nice and available for you. Now, Newmars have about the stoutest entry doors that I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot of coaches in my days. And what I mean by that is not only is it well insulated, But if it's a very windy day, this door is not going to blow around. It's very stout. There is a reason for that. I mean, I've definitely had a high wind pickup and a door on an RV hit me, and it wasn't very fun. So Newmars don't do that. It's really a nice feature that they have. We do have an awning that'll come out right over this entry door with LED lights. So if you don't want to deploy your full awning setup, you can just do it over there. Say it's raining and you're bringing groceries in. That would be a perfect situation to just put that one out. We do have a place that we can add a flagpole right here. And then here, it's actually really cool at night. This can light up, but this is a programmable door code. So you can get in and out of this coach, lock it up when you're leaving and not have to bring your keys with you. There is a separate code for the entry door and the bay area, or the basement doors. And you also have a doorbell, which seems silly, but actually this thing is so well insulated, you wouldn't hear if someone were knocking on your door. So you actually kind of need it, so it's great. On the exterior of the coach, you'll notice we have a full body paint. This is a seamless paint job. I've seen these people at Newmar do this, and they actually tape it, spray it by hand. It's not a mechanical process. This is done by their workers there in the factory. And they do a great job. They take a razor blade and clean up all the edges here. They call it cut and buff, so it's really a really nice seamless paint job. You'll also notice that we have window awnings here. Those are powered, and there's little buttons throughout the coach that control each of those individually. So again, if you don't want to put all of your awnings out, or if the sun is shining on the opposite side of the coach, you can actually put those out because there's no awning, no big awning over there. Here we have your diesel fuel fill, and we do have these on both sides. You can fill them both at the same time. Your capacity is 150 gallons of diesel fuel, so you really are going to save a lot of time if you have them both going at the same time into your coach. Down here we have your Dometic programmable fridge freezer. This comes out really far because if your slide out was out, it would stop about right here, and you can still get access to this if your slide out happened to be out. So clever. The reason I said this was programmable fridge freezer is that you can actually choose the temperature on both sides. So you can make one a fridge, one a freezer, or vice versa, or both a freezer. Whatever you want to do with this space, you can do that. Outdoor TV with another sound bar. This is Bose, so you can actually have this come from your dash radio. The sound can come here. You can Bluetooth your phone to it, or it can be the sound bar for this TV here. And here, really fancy, we've got these really nice storage trays, and they're powered. So for those of you who have an achy back, bad knees, etc., as I get older, I start to understand these things more. These trays are powered. You don't even have to bend over to get them out. And they come out 60% to either side of the coach. So I can do the exact same thing I just did here on the driver's side. We do have some extra tile in case you do happen to drop something on your tile. Again, they're not going to break just by using this coach or driving this coach, but you do have them, so they'll perfectly match if you ever have an incident. I promised you that we would talk about the Star Foundation a little bit, how this coach doesn't bend and twist as we're going down the road. I'm going to get down here a little bit and show you. This is your chassis rail. So that's what most motorhomes are built on. So for one thing, your floor on most motorhomes is going to be setting on that. It is not in a Newmar, and that's for vibration, twist, noise, all of those things. So we have this nice beam here. Newmar takes a whole beam over here. Can you see that there? Goes down and across, and that's going to support your bay doors. It's going to support your floor that's in the coach. The other thing that you can't see from down here is that there is about 3 inches of insulation before they even get to the wood that's under the tile. So that is going to be really nice in keeping heat out or cold out. We have another 2 3/4 inches of insulation under here as well. So your basement here is heated because we have a hydronic heating system that is plumbed down here. But we also have all this insulation here too. And I've heard stories of people going to the Newmar factory and having to get service done or something like that. -17 degrees, they're parked outside there to get their service, and they have not had to winterize, dump tanks, any of that, because it stayed nice and warm in their basement. I think that is remarkable. Now here we have another slide out tray. It is powered and the button is right here on the door as well. And then in this bay, we only have access to, I'd say about 60% of this bay, because your Oasis tankless water heater is on the other side. It's on the driver's side. So this one is actually a manual tray, very easy to pull out. And then of course you have your vacuum components down here. Oops. And your vacuum is housed right here, as I was telling you. You can just swap these bags out right in there. But you can also plug in here those attachments, and then you can vacuum this basement area and keep it real nice and clean. Here's your emergency exit door that we were talking about in the bathroom area. So again, it's not that far down if you had to jump. Really great feature. Now this is where your 105-gallon water tank is housed. It is behind here, so they couldn't use a whole, or they couldn't give you a whole bay, but they gave you as much as they could and put these nice shelves in it. Most people keep extra tools, extra fluids in there. So that's really what that's for. Steerable tag axle here. So that actually turns, follows you. It will lock into place when you're backing in, so you don't have to worry about that either. And then you have a def tanks here. Now this is also a dual fill, so you can do it on the other side as well. 15 gallons there. So about once every third time that you fill your diesel tank, you're gonna fill your def. Now this is a Spartin chassis again. So they look a little different than the Freightliners back here. They give you a little bit more accessibility to your fuel filter, things like that. Your chassis disconnects are right here, and your chassis batteries. And then we do have side radiator on this, so we can actually access this engine compartment really easily, check our oil. There's a lot you can do out here, change belts, and your Oasis fluid is also here. We do have an engine block heater integrated here. So if it's really cold, you're going to want to start that before you get going. 15,000 pounds towing capacity. We do have your 7-pin connector here, as well as your air systems already integrated here. We do have a camera plug-in for a stacker trailer there. So if you are taking a big trailer, need another camera view from the back of that, you can do that as well. We do have a 360-degree camera system on this coach as well. So that means it's going to give you a view on the monitor as if someone was flying right above your coach all the time. Really great safety feature. This is the other side of that def I was saying. You could fill it from either side. And here we just have a little compartment to store things. It has some drains in there, so if you put something yucky in there, it can drain out. Maybe some gloves or something that you're using for the water bay. And then here is your water bay. So we've got a shower here. We've got the whole house water filter I was telling you about. A very clearly marked, etched here. So these aren't just stickers that are going to peel off and you're not going to know what it says. One of the great things here, this is your macerator system. So that's basically a blender for any solid waste. It's also capable of pumping it uphill. Another crazy thing we've got here is we've got this little touch screen here. We can turn the generator on, we can turn the lights on, we can check all of our tank levels so we know, is this thing almost done emptying out or whatever. We also have the ability to tilt this coach. So you can hit side tilt, start, and it'll actually do this. The coach itself will totally tip over so that you make sure you get every last drop out of your tanks. I think that's just so crazy, but I love it. Here we have your water hose, obviously, but this is powered. So it'll just self-retract when you push that button there. Really nice when it's dirty or wet outside, cold. And then here we have your 50-foot 50 amp cord, and it is also powered, but the button's up here on the door so you don't have to bend over with that. That is one of my favorite features, honestly, because when I have to pull these coaches in, it's the middle of winter and we're trying to unplug them and move them so we can get shoveled or something. They are a bugger to get wrapped up and get them back into a bay because the cords get so hard in the cold. So I love that that does it for you. You just guide it a little. Here's your Oasis. That's your tankless hot water system as well as your furnace system in this coach. They work really well. A lot less maintenance than the other brand, which we don't need to mention. And then we're on the other side of those powered slide. Oop, this one doesn't want to open for me. I don't know why that doesn't want to open. There we go. I just wasn't getting firm enough. So again, another side of the slide out tray powered on the door as well. Here we have your 8 batteries. That's going to be a lot of power for you. Run this thing even if you're off grid for a while. And batteries do charge while you're going down the road. Your engine charges them. Also, if your generator's running, that's going to charge them too. Here's the other side of your diesel fuel fill. And then over here, we have access to the generator slide. Now this is on a slide out. So again, just push a button if you want to service it yourself, change the oil on it, or just check it out. This is a great way to have that. You don't have to mess with climbing under the coach or crawling under the coach. So again, 12.5 Cummins Onan quiet diesel generator. And we've got air horns in here and your washer fluid and all that good stuff. Really a great coach. Really a great price for this coach, actually. So give me a call if you have any interest in this coach or any of our others here on the lot. My name again is Teresa Crawley, and this is Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado.